What's going on? What is going on? It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and I would like to re welcome you back to the Reality Check Present versus Future Self, Episode 7. Now, as we are reaching the end of 2022, we have to make sure that we prepare for what's coming forward. So please make sure we get into all the major points for this week. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell and select all so you will not miss one video. Now, previously on the reality check, we discussed ways to finish strong through 2022, meaning looking exactly where we are, evaluating that, executing the best way we can to get through this year to bring in momentum for 2023. Now, the question that came upon for December 31st will be, what should we bring into 2023? Again, what should we bring into 2023? Now, as I overview some of the things that I've dealt with as far as my skills, my attributes, some of my abilities, I start thinking about what are some things that I can take with me that will help elevate me in another space. Now, first, as I was delivering all this thing, the first thing I thought about was my new vision for 2023. And what that means is what exactly is my blueprint for 2023, meaning that I had to sit down and write down what I accomplished this year and move those aside and look at the ways that I can write out 2023 as far as my goals to ensure that I get the same type of effect as well. So that's a major thing that you can look at as well. Number two would be understanding what my strengths are. Looking at what worked for me in 2022 versus what didn't work for me. One example of thing that worked for me through 2022 is organizing my time, meaning that I prioritize doing this, and this, and ensure that those gaps where I have space I can fill in with other things. So that was one of my biggest strengths. Also, being able to evaluate where I'm going versus what I'm taking as far as my finances. Also, another thing that I was able to develop was being able to save no matter how small, how big my time was, or as far as my finances, no matter what it was each month. Next would be time management. Have I mapped out how I want to utilize my spare time? Meaning that as I went through 2022, sorry, the biggest thing is that I figured out that I got a lot of things done faster and more effective, more efficiently. However, I kind of lagged off with my spare time, meaning that I didn't use or utilize the amount of time that I had within a day to get things done. So that was one thing that I had to improve on. Relationships, reviewing and currently looking at what connections I've had or signed up for in 2022, those persons that I'm connected with personally and also business wise as I transition to 2023, are those connections something that I need moving forward, or do I need to let go of some things? Next will be financial management. What are some financial tips that I can use to carry over into this new year of 2023? Biggest thing that I can carry over is organizing those things that I can pay off versus the things that I was going to stay with me moving forward throughout my time. So, figuring out a plan to knock certain things off just little by little to ensure that I can add and put money in different other places that will allow me to benefit more from that. Faith level, reflecting over the seasons when my connection with God was strong. Meaning in 2022, starting off the year, had a new job. Then, in addition to that, being able to get connected and put in a position to be a leader in the organization. In addition to that, getting my first property. So, those were some major highlights and seasons where things were going absolutely great. And during that time, my faith level was all the way up here. I'm ready, I'm in there. And during the times where it was rough, I still continue to allow God and my relationship with God to push and ensure that even though it's not as clean and not as good as I would like for it to be, it's better than where it needs to be. And I'm also able to pay the necessary things and still be able to survive moving forward. Um, Last but not least, number 7. What do I envision the end of 2023 to be? And let's just keep it honest and keep it real. There's a few things that I've overviewed, and there's things I put for short term and long term. But let's be honest, keep it real. Sometimes you don't reach those things that you're trying to do. But overall, here are some areas where I know that by the end of 2023, I know I'll make improvements to. Number one, allowing God to be my guide over myself, meaning allowing Him to be the head of what needs to be taken care of and allowing that to not overstep the things of my logic because we see things through experiences. And if we don't see it, we necessarily may not believe it's going to happen. But allowing God to direct my path through this process. Next would be consistently reviewing over my goals for 2023, meaning each of the quarters, that means 4 times. So January, February, March. At the end of March, I see exactly where I'm at on as far as hitting my goals. And I keep doing that to see exactly how much progress I've made. Next, making sacrifices in areas that are necessary, meaning am I willing to sacrifice the amount of time I spent going to even if going for entertainment purposes or spending the amount of time I have towards what's a good example of that? Sacrificing my time for a necessary thing, or sacrificing being able to go out as much, or sacrificing my time of spending money in certain areas where I necessarily don't need to. So sacrificing that for a greater cause of improving myself. Learning or leaning on the areas where I was strong and improve on my weaknesses. Meaning that those areas where I'm good as far as time management, as far as organizing myself, as far as being proactive versus reactive, those areas where I'm weak at or being in the point where I might get a little lazy or get a little lax or get comfortable because I'm making the progress that I thought that I'll make. So I'm laid back chilling versus being intentional and pushing forward. So those areas I have to do better on as far as my weaknesses of being at the point where I'm ahead of the game and I decide to kind of put my foot on coast. Taking advantage of spare time, meaning that if I look at the time that I share with or the time that I have open versus the time I have covered with certain things, there are ways where I can maximize in that area. If there's things I was supposed to do that I was planning on doing for that Friday, I could push that to that Wednesday, that Thursday to knock it out ahead of time so I can focus on something else that's more important. So that's important as well. Lastly, or second to last, embrace healthy relationships, meaning those tainted and toxic things that I have or connections with certain people or certain situations, let these things go so that you'll be able to improve on those healthy relationships that you have and also build more healthy relationships as you move forward. Um, Last but certainly not least, using my money wisely, meaning being a good steward over the finances God has already blessed me with to ensure that I am responsible enough when He does offer me more that I can handle it from that perspective. So, as I overlook all these things and how I envision the end of 2023 will be, um, it's just amazing how things that you go through in life will shape and build you into something major and something stronger. Those trials and tribulations in your life, do not take those for granted. It's not always about the destination, it's about the journey. So as we close, I would like to thank you for taking the time out to check out my YouTube page. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. We are going into to 2023 with a different mindset, different momentum. So don't take nothing for less and do not waste your time on things that are not beneficial to your life. It is your boy, Smooth Blaze, and I am signing out. Peace.